Let me kick things off by saying welcome to Gulfstream Legal's Poolside Chat inaugural webinar. As a brief introduction, I'm Ari Mandel, VP of Discovery Services for Gulfstream Legal, and I'm joined today by Ray Biederman of Discovery Master, who I'm honored to join as my first guest in our new webinar series. Uh, to let you know, we here at Gulfstream Legal decided that we wanted to take the opportunity to share a lot of the knowledge that we've gained over the years with our clients, with our prospects and leads, and just fellow people out there in the community. And I'm kind of honored to start this thing off by saying it's one of my favorite subjects and one of the things that I know has plagued a lot of us for a long time, which is how do we track, report, and deal with a variety of multi-matter management and variety of different cases that we have to deal with on a daily basis. So before we get into that, let me first say welcome to Ray, and thank you for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ari, I'm real honored to be here for your first poolside chat. I spent the week working on my beach bod, which is what you see in front of you today. But in all seriousness, it's a true honor to be here representing Discovery Master and the great work you guys are doing and talking about such an important topic. I'm Ray Biederman. I am a co-founder and CEO of Discovery Master. I'm also a practicing litigator. I was at an AmLaw 100 firm for many years in several capacities. First in the eDiscovery department when it first started in 2006. Then I finished law school and became an associate at that firm. Um, and I was in charge of a team of 350 contract attorneys, and we were just reviewing around the clock. And I would have to do reporting on a huge MDL consisted of 20,000 plaintiffs and claimants across the globe. And I would lose an entire day a week just running reports to figure out if reviewers were good, if reviewers were bad, if we're on budget, if we're behind budget, how the documents are looking. And I knew there had to be a better way. And so I came up with the idea for Discovery Master. So in the last couple of years, I left the firm, started my own litigation boutique firm here in Indianapolis, and really put a lot of resources into developing Discovery Master, which I'm real proud to present for you guys today.
That is amazing, and I will say takes a lot to go from the big firm to your own boss in such short order. So, and then taking on developing your own tool, that's a whole different beast. I've been there, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, let us dive directly into a topic that's kind of dear to my heart, which is tracking and reporting on e-discovery cases, especially when we're talking about how many cases all of us deal with on a daily basis. So, kicking things off, we talk about strategies to simplify managements and tasks. Why is this so important, and what are the challenges, Ray, you face, as a litigator on a daily basis and trying to balance and juggle, all of your clients' different cases and keeping up with them and giving them as much information as possible.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. You have just such a mix of clients and responsibilities for those clients and demands that they have. And there are essentially three overarching questions that you get on every project, and then it spiders out from there and how the reporting gets done. But at the end of the day, people want to know uh, how are we tracking on budget, when's it going to be done, and what'd you find, right? And so prioritizing those three things and making sure that your client is satisfied in those three areas is very important to maintaining relationships, and then gets you to that next level of client service, right? If that baseline is dealt with and captured, then you can get into the real nitty gritty of reporting. And frankly, at the end of the day, eDiscovery is great. It's wonderful. I love it. I'm sure you love it too. But litigators want to litigate the case. They don't want to litigate eDiscovery issues. And so finding ways to take those pain points away, or at least minimize them, is critical when looking at management tasks.
So it's funny that you mention, some of those things that you do to simplify. So I remember my very first boss, and he gave me a couple of just what he called his simple tips to keep yourself organized. Things that we all know and love to do, but kind of forget, in our daily basis when we get real busy. Things like prioritize what's really important. Keep a to-do list. Schedule things out and add it to your calendar. But at the exact same time, be flexible. Things change. And these four simple tips, and especially that to-do list. I know I start my morning every day with that to-do list. See what I accomplished the day before. Add things that I need to accomplish today, and then as things come in, continue to add to that. It's those simple, basic things that we learn, early on, but kind of forget to do on a daily basis that really kind of help us to simplify and stay organized. So, in continuing down the same line, I mean, you talk about keeping budget. So obviously, your clients are always looking for ways to save time and money, and I'm sure you're looking for ways to save them time and money when you're trying to deal and juggle all these different cases. So before we get into the fun of Discovery Master itself,
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you do and you do for your clients, that help to save time and money?
Yeah, so I think legal spend and especially the discovery costs, they account. I think the Bar Association, the ABA put out a study. I guess it's several years ago now. 70% of costs of cases before trial is discovery, and so finding ways to make sure you're on the same page as your client about what needs to be collected, what needs to be preserved and not necessarily collected, and keeping those cabined, in their silos, is pretty critical to saving time and money because. As we all know, as soon as you get a custodian that goes from just preservation to collection, you've just increased costs down the entire line, right?
Yeah.
And so if you can find ways to either, preserve data, but not necessarily have to put it through the process, and you can do that proactively, that is probably the number one way to save time and money. And then after that, controlling the spend on review is an insane way to reduce costs. And that can be done by having reporting that is consistent, that comes out on a regular cadence, that is up to date and is consistent across matters. So if you have a set of documents in one workspace and the important field is responsiveness, and then in another database the important field is production tag, having that Rosetta Stone, if you will, to normalize that data reporting really can save a lot of time and money as well.
That's awesome. And so for me, I mean, the other big thing, because you talk about your spend all the way on the left side, and then controlling it, even after you get into discovery into review. For me, a key during my law firm days was always having the right experts in place and having good project managers.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't know if you've had the same experience, but when you bring those experts in, early on in your case, somebody who knows how to handle that case, how to find the documents, how to manage, both collection and preservation. And they're not just willy-nilly going left and right, gathering documents, or they don't understand the technical challenges that certain clients face when trying to collect those documents. Their ability to have on their team, I can get into any system on the fly to grab things, and then transition that and keep the communication open between whether it's a project manager, an attorney, a paralegal handling kind of the central part of the case. And then for me, the other expert on the case is always whoever's identified as that central project manager, who is so critical. And if you I mean, I remember when my partners used to bring me during my law firm days as a project manager in early on so that I could help talk to forensic, talk to custodians, talk to, opposing counsel, and then even have that knowledge for later on in review. So I know where documents are. I know how to guide the review team and talk to them, not just from the legal perspective, but to help guide them so that things were simple. That's just, I mean, when we're talking time and money, that became so important. And I mean, I'm sure you've got your core group of experts, like us, that you work with, and I know here at Gulfstream we do the exact same thing. I mean, we hold those people, and I'll give kudos to our project managers as well for a moment. Without that team, I cannot imagine any of our eDiscovery cases ever going smoothly and well.
Yeah, it's it's pretty important to have someone who can both speak legal nerd and technical nerd, and serve as that bridge between it. That's exactly right.
And it's a rare skill to have these days as well, because you kind of get one or the other. Somebody who can talk to the technical people or somebody who can talk to the case team, but not many who can talk to both.
Yep.
Well, perfect. And in kind of transitioning onto that, I really want to get, and this is the part that I'm excited about, really to the heart of this for everybody. We talk about all these simple tasks and the important people and the ways we can save time and money and simplify. But the real reason we're here today is to talk about Discovery Master. And here at Gulfstream Legal, we're really excited because we recently partnered with Ray, your team, and this is an opportunity to really simplify this process, especially on the reporting aspect. Reporting is so key, and the ability to gather that information easily from all of your varieties of different hosting solutions, providers, regardless of where data is, and being able to get to that information and share that information quickly and easily is so critical. So with that, and everybody, I want to introduce Ray one more time. He's going to show you exactly how Discovery Master can do that, and how we here at Gulfstream Legal, using this tool, can help simplify your life.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I hope I took over the screen effectively. And now you can see a tile-based experience of Discovery Master. And so what you see here is each of these tiles can represent one relativity workspace or a subset of a relativity workspace. So one of the things that was critical to me when developing this tool was uh, being able to report on a subset of a workspace, because we had a one relativity workspace with 58 million documents in it, and I didn't want to report on 58 million documents. I wanted to report on the 122,000 documents that were at issue in the case. And so we created this system so you can report just on that subset. In addition, what you'll see here is a top level budget. So this is a roll up of all of the budget categories, and we'll see that in the project details, but this rolls up to the top level, and a top level view of the documents that have been reviewed today. And so here you can answer a couple of questions. How current is the data? So it shows you the last time that data synced. Um, where's the data at? You click a button, launch into relativity, and it is federated across every instance of relativity, including rel 1. So you create a tile here, all you do is click this button, and it knows where that data resides. And then underneath here, just a quick breakdown of the production tags. And you can have a bar graph, pie graph, however you want to look at it. But this gives you that actionable intelligence right from the top. And so we see here, we've got, 4 different tiles. These are actually they're actually 3 different relativity instances, one based in Germany and a couple based here in the States. And so we all have all of those here. And then we can have normalized reporting across everything. So we understand what the important tag is in each of these cases. Now I clicked in to get to this 5,000 foot view. And if there are any questions or anything, feel free to put them in the chat. Happy to address them as we go on the fly. I've done this a time or two, so I'm ready to address any questions. And so what you see at the 5,000 foot view, you see, this is a 3-party relationship. I'm logged in as the review company, and I'm going to see a lot of very specific reviewer data. So if I'm the law firm, I have a slightly different experience, and I get to see some aggregated data for the entire review team, because maybe I don't care as much about how Ryan Short did on his review yesterday, right? Maybe I don't. And then there's also a channel partner experience that helps get everything set up and make sure that the train's running on time. So we see that same budget feature from the top, and underneath here, we've got a breakdown, and you can have as many categories, as many budget categories as you want. You can add time through a time card feature, or we'll work with clients to ingest a CSV file, so that time can come from whatever other timekeeping software you're using. Get into here so you can see that time displayed. You can also associate specific batch sets with a budget category. So at a micro level, you can see where you're going over budget and how many documents are left for each of those different budget categories. And so what we're trying to answer in this screen is those three questions I talked about at the beginning. When's it going to be done? How much is it going to cost me? And what'd you find? So we talked about the how much it cost me. The when it's going to be done, we have a burn down chart here, and we project out the date that the review is going to be completed based on the last 5 days where review actually occurred. So we look at the burn down for those previous trailing 5 days, and then project out a completion date based upon that. And if you add more reviewers, then you get more done in a day, and we deal with all that too. And it's a pretty cool feature. We use it a lot, just to see where we're at. And then the last part is, what'd you find? So we have these project metrics, and each of these are clickable tiles, and you can have it associated with any document, object, field, and relativity. And so here we've got privileged and potentially privileged. And typically what we see sometimes is these really sensitive hot documents or privileged documents get emailed around within a firm or get emailed to a client. Hey, is this really important? Hey, how bad is this? But what we want to do is we want to draw people and invite people into relativity. So you can click on this button, and here you are. You've got your 497 privileged or potentially privileged documents. And you can have as many of those as you'd like, and those numbers stay up to date because of the way that Discovery Master syncs with relativity. So a little bit more in-depth reporting, we can see the issue tags and how they're distributed. So how many issue tags are by themselves or issue tags that are associated with multiple issues. And you can click on one of these and see that percentage of overlap. What this helps with is sometimes people will get review projects that have 20 or 25 issue tags, and half of them are never used, and 2/3 of them overlap 98% of the time. And so this is a way to visualize that and ferret out any potential training issues, or maybe there can be efficiency by combining some tags. And so this helps with that process. And then any document object field you can create a little tile for here and get a pie graph and a table, and it's pretty cool. And then you can links to the field tree for all of these. You can just click and open up that subset of documents in relativity based on the field tree. So that's like the 1.0 version of what we've done. We have been since the pandemic. We thought in Indiana we were told 2 weeks we're going to be shut down for 2 weeks, and then everybody's coming back to the office. And now we're in year 2, and some people aren't back to the office yet. And document reviewers are spread out everywhere. So we need a way to see who's effective. And so we created this QC detail. And on the QC side here, you can see people that are in the blue, they're doing well. People in the green are fantastic. You want to get them, a nice gift and make sure they stay around. And then people in the red, you want to send to your competitors. So that's a way to get that at a glance. And you can do this on every project. You can have as many of these as you want. And we track just a couple of things in here. We look at, we normalize everybody's velocity, so how fast they're going, and we scale that on a bell curve. And then we look at the reviewer's accuracy, and we scale that also on a bell curve, which is how you get this plot here. The accuracy, we also divide out into severity levels. So if someone misses an issue tag that might be less terrible than someone missing a privilege call, which is, the most. And then we take all of this data and we aggregate that up to show how people are doing on projects over time. So as you're staffing up document reviews in the future, you can see who are my best velocity, who are my best accuracy, who's best overall. And then you select those and you assign them to the next project. So we're just trying to put together a piece of software that helps reduce some of the friction that you have in doc reviews, some of the question marks there, and use that to leverage that knowledge to save time and money both on that project and other projects moving forward.
Well, well, Ray, I have to say personally, from my perspective, this is a lot of information that, I used to get asked for on a regular basis, daily basis, in fact, that I would be looking for. And a key is that I want to kind of refresh for everybody is the nice thing is you have a single login to get all of this information in one interface. It doesn't matter what review company you're using. It doesn't matter where your data is being stored. It's a single interface. So, you've now given, I know, the Gulfstream clients a great opportunity. They can come to us, and we can show them everything that we've got for them and everything that they have in other instances of relativity, all via this single interface to get information such as, where are they in the process? How many documents should they have loaded? How much do they have to review? But also all of this key information that they're looking for on a review or performance. I mean, because how many times have you worked with a review company and you're like, are they really giving me accurate information? Is this review metrics that they send me every morning real?
Mhm.
Well, now you don't have those questions. You can kind of get that in real time on your own. I mean, if you want to. So keys for me.
Yeah.
So well, brilliant. I'm going to take this moment real quick and see if anybody has any questions for Ray and the tool. Please feel free to, as we mentioned, enter it into the chat window, and we will do our best to enter. But if not, I kind of want to say thank you to everybody and Ray for attending this time that we've had here. I know we started a little late, and we're kind of, and I want to make sure everybody's time is kind of well looked after because everybody's time is precious. I also want to take this opportunity to invite everybody to Gulfstream Legal's next poolside chat, where hopefully I will be sitting in front of this pool and not just at this pool in a picture, since unfortunately Mother Nature did not play nice with us today, even here in Houston, Texas, where it's normally sunny. And next time we're going to be talking about, easing the privilege log pain and some of the things that we've done and some of the ways that our tools can now help us to ease that privilege log pain. Ray, I'm sure you've had many privilege logs that have been a challenge over the years, so I hope you'll join us
Too many.
next time next time as well.
Thank you.
So, well, perfect. Well, Ray, let me say one more time, thank you again for joining us. And everyone, thank you so much for your time today. We hope this was informative and gave you a few tips and tricks on how to manage a few different cases, as well as a brief overview of Discovery Master as well. This great tool that's been released that can help you see everything from one place. From Houston, Texas, and from Indianapolis. From Ari and Ray, let me say thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully sunny days are coming.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you, Ray.